Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to explore Indian ethics, also known as Niti Shastra. This tradition has shaped moral, social, and spiritual thoughts in India for centuries. By diving into its principles, we will discover how ancient wisdom can still be relevant today. Introduction to Niti Shastra. Niti Shastra comes from two Sanskrit words, Niti meaning ethics, direction, or conduct, and Shastra, which translates to command, rule, or tradition. Together, Niti Shastra refers to a systematic approach to ethics, guiding both individual and social conduct. The term Shastra also means a branch of knowledge or science. Thus, ethics as a branch of knowledge studies rules of conduct in a systematic way. Aristotle once said, "He who is unable to live in society or has no need because he is sufficient for himself must be either a beast or a god." This emphasizes how important ethics is in guiding human behavior within society. Here is a map of ancient India. When we talk about Indian ethics, we are referring to traditions that originated within this geographical context, not the modern Indian state as we know it today. This ethical tradition spans centuries, having been revived through the teachings of sages and great personalities from the Vedic period to modern times. Indian ethics is deeply rooted in this territory, passed down through generations and continuously shaped by spiritual insights. Unlike some Western traditions, Indian ethics integrates metaphysical truths and moral conduct in a unified worldview. Indian ethics as a tradition has been revived through the ultimate truth experienced by sages, great personality, and Mahatmas from the Vedic period to the present day. In contrast to Western ethics, which often seeks to separate ethics from metaphysics, Indian ethics deeply intertwines the two. Here, ethical principles are not just rules for behavior, they are meant to guide human beings towards their eternal welfare, focusing on stability in society and world peace. One of the key ideas in Indian ethics is captured in this verse. Ayam nija paroveti gadana laghuchet sam udar charitanam tu vasudhev kutumbakam. This means this is mine and that is another's. Such thinking is narrow minded. The generous hearted see the entire world as one family. Now, talking about the content of Indian ethics, most Indian thinkers consider salvation or moksha as the ultimate goal of life. In Indian ethics, everything from individual conduct to societal rules is designed to help individuals achieve moksha or salvation. Indian ethics is built around four goals of life known as Purushartha. The first one is Kam, that is pleasure, Arth, that is wealth. Next, we have Dharma, that is duty, and then we have Moksha, that is salvation. Unlike materialistic views, Indian thought emphasizes coexistence with nature and universal brotherhood. Our actions today are linked to rebirth, making ethical living essential. Indian ethics also seeks to establish harmony both within the individual and society. Human beings are torn between two tendencies. One is the conscience, that is also known as vivek, and the second one is emotion, that is also known as bhavana. Conscience can be understood as a moral guide, while emotion are tied to desires. The goal is to harmonize these and end internal and external conflicts. As we all know that human beings have many desires, but not all desires lead us toward moksha. Indian ethics advises that individuals should renounce desires that obstruct the path to the ultimate goal of life, which is salvation. Understanding to abandon helps which desires to abandon helps move forward in this spiritual journey. Now, talking about the development of Indian ethics. Indian ethics has a long tradition, transmitted orally and in written form. Before the Vedas were written, the teachings were passed down orally through the Guru Shishya tradition, ensuring moral principles were passed and preserved across generations. Here we see an image representing the Guru Shishya Parampara, or the teacher disciple tradition, which played a crucial role in preserving and passing on moral and ethical teachings. During the Vedic period, these oral traditions were recorded in text. In Indian thought, there is no sharp divide between ethics, religion, and philosophy. They are interconnected and influence one another. Various texts, including the Vedas, Upanishads, Smritis, and Puranas, present moral principles in different ways. For example, the Rita principle in the Vedas emphasizes truth, while the Upanishads focus on the law of truth, and the Smritis highlight the importance of following one's personal duty or swadharma. In the Kathopanishad, Yam and Nachiketa discuss two paths. One is the Shreyas and the other is the Preyas. Shreyas is the path of intellect and virtue, while Preyas is the path of desire. The wise person chooses Shreyas, the superior path, which leads to the ultimate goal of life, while the less prudent choose Preyas, turning away from the path of salvation. Indian ethical thought is deeply rooted in Vedic literature. The Vedas are the foundational text of Indian spirituality and ethics. And then we have epics, which are also called Mahakavya and Puran. Then we have Vedic hymns and Smriti. And last, we have other texts. From these four stages, we take the different thoughts for Indian ethics. That's how we have developed the ethics. The Vedic literature is divided into four distinct parts: Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyak, and Upanishad. Coming to the Vedas, the word Veda is derived from the Sanskrit word Vid, which means knowledge. The Vedas are the oldest written religious philosophical text in the world. There are four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, and Atharvaveda. Interestingly, the Vedas are also referred to as the trilogy, that is Vedatraya. This division is done on the basis of prose, verse, and singing. Vedatraya does not consist Atharvaveda. So, in that sense, we are left with the three: the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, and the Samveda. The verse part of the Veda, where the verses are discussed, is Rig Veda. The prose part of the Vedas is Yajurveda, and the singing part, where the musics or the sounds are discussed, mainly the music, is called Samaveda. Here is a table showing the different Vedas and the corresponding number of mantras. Each Veda contains a vast collection of hymns, each serving a specific purpose in rituals, knowledge, and spiritual guidance. Vedic literature is divided into four primary forms. These four parts are as: the first one is Samhita, that is mantra part. This is used and appropriated in Yajna Anushthan. Then we have Brahman Granth, which consists the interpretation of the rituals of Yajna Anushthan of the Vedas. Then we have Brahman Granth, which basically provides the interpretation of the rituals of Yajna Anushthan of the Vedas. Then we have Aranyakas, which basically is the explanation of the spiritual purpose behind the rituals of Yajna Anushthan. Lastly, we have Upanishad, which are considered as the philosophical and knowledgeable description of the supreme principle under the Vedas. The supreme principles such as Brahma, Maya, Avidya, Jivatma, and the nature and the relationship of the world. Coming to the Samhita part, the Samhita part itself is called the original Veda. The Vedas also have many branches according to the tradition of the sages, which are basically related to their Samhitas. In performing sacrifices, there is generally a variety in the style of chanting, mantras, and rituals. Due to this diversity, the branches of the Vedas have also expanded. There are 21 branches of Rig Veda, 101 branches of Yajur Veda that consist Shukla and Krishna both, as Yajur Veda is divided in two parts, Shukla and Krishna. Then we have 1000 branches of Samaveda and 9 branches of Atharva Veda. Thus, there are a total of 1131 branches. This number has also been mentioned by Maharshi Patanjali in his Mahabhashya. Mahabhashya that Patanjali wrote is a commentary on selected rules of Sanskrit grammar from Panini's treatise, that is the Ashtadhyayi, as well as Katyayana's Vartik Sutra, an elaboration of Panini's grammar. Out of the 1131 branches, only 12 branches are currently available in the original text. And out of the 21 branches of the Rig Veda, only 2 have text available, the Shakal Shakha and the Shankhayan Shakha. In the Yajur Veda, out of 86 branches of Krishna Yajur Veda, only 4 branches have text. These are Taittiriya branch, Mitrayaniya Shakha, Katha Shakha, and Kapishthal Shakha. Out of the 15 branches of Shukla Yajurveda, only 2 branches have text, the Madhyandini branch and the Kanva branch. For the Samaveda, only 2 branches have text available, the Kauthum branch and Jaiminiya branch. Similarly, for the Atharva Veda, only two branches remains, Shaunak branch and Pepalad branch. It is important to note that while some branches have surviving text, they are often incomplete, making it difficult to fully grasp the branch's original teachings. Many branches are known only by name, with no surviving text to provide insight into their teachings. Next, we come to the Brahmanas. The Brahmana texts are prose explanations of the Vedas, focusing on sacrificial rituals and offering mystical interpretations of the gods. They are considered the second part of the Vedic literature and often provide commentary on the Vedic mantras. Each Veda is associated with one or more Brahmanas written in Vedic Sanskrit. These Brahmana texts provide insight into the sacrificial and ritualistic practices of the time. Today, several Brahmanas remain associated with various Vedic branches. Here is a chart that maps each Veda to its corresponding Brahmana text. These connections show how the Vedic hymns, rituals, and philosophical interpretations are linked across these texts. Thank you for your time today. I hope this presentation has given you a deeper understanding of the structure and significance of Vedic literature and how it has shaped Indian ethics. If you have any question, you can comment, and as you know that this presentation was the part 1, the part 2 will be coming soon. Thank you.